Hello, my name is Aidan Montague, and today I would like to talk to you about your website. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you been burning your money on a website that doesn't work? And by not working, I mean a website that doesn't generate any leads for the business and a website that doesn't help you make any sales. And on top of that, there's another problem that I'm sure you're familiar with, and that's the whole issue of control. You see, if you have to go to a third party to have your site updated, then of course that's a nightmare. It takes forever to update, it costs time, money, and because your site is not current, it doesn't rank highly on Google or the other search engines. Well, most people I speak to are in exactly the same position, which means of course that your competitors are in the same position. And that of course is good news, because today I have a solution for you that's going to give you a competitive edge. But first, let's talk about the problem. You see, the problem is, because the internet is not your business, you're at the mercy of experts. You have to delegate. And on top of that, you don't have time. Because you're so busy running your business, you don't have time to spend on online marketing. You need to delegate, you need to rely on others. And that's why you hired a professional to build your website in the first place. Almost certainly you spent a lot of money on your website, you certainly spent a lot of time briefing the developer, but still your website doesn't generate leads, it doesn't make you money, it still doesn't perform. In fact, it's been a liability. So let's analyze what went wrong. Well, if you're like most people, you probably started off going to Yellow Pages or Google. You looked for web designers with professional or credible looking ads. You had some phone conversations, meetings, you got some quotes, and then you made your decision. And almost certainly you based your decision on what looks good and price. Now, unfortunately, that's where the project got off the rails in the first place. You see, the problem is this: you're getting bad advice. Now, let me explain why. You spent 90% of your time talking about almost certainly logos, colors, branding, graphic design. In other words, you focused on the cosmetics of the website. And the problem is, these things have little to do with lead generation, little to do with sales. By contrast, these are the important things. Things like, as I mentioned, lead generation, relationship marketing, unique selling proposition or point of difference, you may know it as, loyalty ladder, online sales funnel, of course, traffic and conversion, lifetime customer value, and perhaps most important of all, building a database. Now, almost certainly those things were not discussed when you sat down with your web developer. The problem is this: web designers specialize in building great-looking websites, which of course is important, but they're not experts in the sales process, so your website doesn't perform, it doesn't do what you expect it to do, it doesn't generate leads, it doesn't make you any sales. Now, this slide took me forever to do, so I hope you like it. Making a non-performing website look good is like putting lipstick on a pig. The pig will look great, but you won't make any sales. Now, of course, you need a good web designer. Your website must look good. But the most important thing is your online marketing strategy comes first. Things like unique selling proposition, how you're going to generate leads, how to drive traffic, convert that traffic to sales, how you're going to build a database. These are the important things. Sort these out first, then go to your web designer. So it really is a two-step process. Start off with your strategy, then add a good web design, and you really do have the best of both worlds. What's the solution? Well, the solution I have for you is called the Lead Generation Machine. Now, this will solve your problem. The Lead Generation Machine is a comprehensive training course. It consists of 12 modules. You get access to the first module immediately. It's available online via an online membership site. The training course actually covers a full 12 months, but don't let the time frame worry you. In the first module, we cover everything you need to hire a web designer, to outsource the project, get things underway, and start building a website that's going to generate leads for the business. How do you turn your website into a lead generation machine? Well, the first thing I'd recommend is that you delegate the entire process to a personal assistant or partner, someone you trust, someone with good admin skills. That person certainly doesn't need to have an extensive knowledge of the internet, just a good working knowledge, and the training course will take care of the rest. Now the great news is you will get results within 30 days. Now just to clarify, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be generating leads from your website within 30 days. You may be, but it's more realistic to expect that you will save money initially. Most of the big mistakes are made right up front, so the first module will focus on making sure you don't fall into those expensive pitfalls. Will save you money initially. Then future modules will teach you how to drive traffic to your website, generate leads, and make money. Who is Lead Generation Machine for? Well, it really is for any business that can benefit from marketing. Anyone from accountants, attorneys, financial planners, pharmacists, insurance agents, landscapers, auto repair shops, you name it. Any business that can benefit from marketing can benefit from the lead generation machine. You can apply these strategies to your existing website, or you can build a new website from scratch. And you won't get ripped off again with a website that doesn't work. This website will generate leads for you. It will make you money. What does the training course cover? Just to reiterate, covers how to choose a domain name, how to get ranked highly in Google, keyword research, all the technical stuff, how to choose a content management system, very important, how to choose a web designer, how to convert web traffic to qualified sales leads, how to drive traffic to your website in the first place, how to use social media, things like Facebook, Twitter, and so on, how to build an online sales funnel. We cover relationship marketing, lifetime value of your customer, how to keep your conversion metrics, track your stats, how to measure your return on investment, and much, much more. Okay, you've seen what's included in the course. I guess the obvious question is, how much is the lead generation machine going to cost? Well, I must admit this is something I've really struggled with myself. There's a lot of great material in this training course. I know I could easily charge anything from $1,000 upwards for this training, but I don't want to do that straight off. What I plan to do initially is make a special offer to founding members of just $49 per month. That's a $49 per month subscription, and you can cancel anytime. So I think you'll agree this is great value, but particularly since from the very first module you'll get access to information that may well save you thousands of dollars right from the outset. Just to recap the format, it is an online membership site, all digital of course. Access is via monthly subscription. You get 12 modules, one per month, and included also you will receive lots of bonus material, quick start guides, ebooks, process maps, and so on. And you will get results in 30 days, just like we've discussed previously. Another question you may have is, why should you listen to me? Well, just a little bit of background on myself. Chartered engineer by qualification, but perhaps more importantly, I've spent the last 25 years in sales and marketing, a large portion of that with internet giant Cisco Systems. Following Cisco, I've been assisting a number of high-profile organizations and also private clients establishing a dominant presence on the net. So my career has been focused on getting sales results. Just repeating, there is a 100% 30-day money-back guarantee on this product. If you're not completely satisfied for any reason, I will refund your money, and that's guaranteed. Now this is a quote, I think this came from Forrester Research initially, but it's quite an interesting quote. 90% of the sales of all products and services begin with an online search. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that the transaction is necessarily carried out over the internet, but most people wanting to buy a product or service, when they do their research, they go on the internet, they do their research, and they may transact online or they may transact offline, but everything begins with an online search. So that really means you can't afford not to have a dominant presence on the internet. Just again, a summary of what you get. You get access to the membership site 24/7, all material delivered digitally, multiple documents, PDFs, process maps, checklists, and so on. Everything you need to generate leads and make sales online, plus you can delegate the entire training to a personal assistant or someone else that you trust. So I think we've covered it. The special offer, $49 for founding members. You can sign up below. That's a $49 monthly subscription. Sign up below, and I really look forward to working with you, and thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. All the very best.